to today's video, and those of you that are new to my channel, hi, my name is Maria, and today I'm going to do a full face of Charlotte Tilbury. Well, nearly a full face. I haven't got any eyebrow pencil in Charlotte Tilbury, and I don't have concealer, but I have bought recently a corrector of hers, which I'm absolutely loving. So I'm going to start off with the Hollywood Flawless Filter. I bought this some time ago, and it was during the summer, and I didn't really like it. I thought it made my face a bit greasy, but because it's now autumn here in New Zealand, haven't quite got the humidity here, I thought I would try this today. It probably might be okay. This is in the color 4.5 medium. I'm just going to place some on my face with this doe foot applicator. It's a really big applicator, so. And really I'm just using it as a primer, and it's supposed to give a glow. The only thing was, in the summer, the glow turned into greasy look really. But I'll give it a go again today. And I'm going to blend that in using the Decay Beauty 101 brush. And even when I initially put it on, I never think there's much of a change really. So I finished applying the Hollywood Flawless Filter to my face, and really it just feels greasy. I don't think it really does much at all. But I'm now going to put on the foundation, and I use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation, and this is in the shade 6 Warm. I bought this a little while ago, and I did a full review on this, and I really like it. So with this on top, it may make the Flawless Filter that I've just put on look really nice. It could be a good combination. As I said, I've tried it before in the summer and it wasn't a great combination, but it could be okay now. So I'm just going to put a pump and half on my hand. And I'm going to use a beauty blender to put this foundation on. It's fairly full coverage foundation, so it doesn't matter if it shears out slightly using the sponge. I had forgotten how full coverage this foundation is, and I only put a pump and a half on my hand, and I still have quite a bit of foundation on there, and I'm not going to be using that, so I'm going to wipe that off my hand. That is plenty of foundation on my face, and it's given that full coverage. It feels slightly better now I've put on the foundation. Doesn't feel as greasy as it did when I put on the Hollywood Flawless Filter. But this is a really nice foundation. I have worn it quite a few times, and it wore really well over the summer. And if you want a full coverage foundation, this is definitely one to reach for. It does give a lovely finish. So now I'm going to put on some corrector under my eyes, and this is new to me. I only bought it about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and this is the corrector in number 2 medium. This is what this looks like, and I put this on using my finger. I just get this smallest amount and just press that under my eyes. I'm really liking this corrector. It goes on really well, and it doesn't crease throughout the day. I was a bit concerned because it's more of a cream concealer, and a few years ago I did try a different cream concealer, and it was a Bobbi Brown one, and that was just no good with my oily skin. It just caked up and moved around. But this is a completely different formula. It's quite a light formula, even though it's a cream, and it just presses into the skin really lovely. So I'm just going to do my other eye. So that's the corrector done, and I really have used just the smallest amount, even though this comes in a tiny little container. It's going to last for a really long time. So I'm just going to let that corrector just sit for a couple of minutes, and while I do that, I'm going to grab the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in Eden and put that on. And now I'm going to put on some concealer. I don't have any Charlotte Tilbury concealer, so this is the Laura Mercier one. It's got a long title. It is the Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Concealer, and this is in the colour 3N. And as I've said in my other videos where I've put on concealer, I don't use much at all. I use the least amount possible to get the most coverage. With mature eyes, you sort of need to do that, because otherwise that's why that crepey look or creasing can start to happen throughout the day. So while the concealer settles down for a couple of minutes, I'm going to do my eyebrows. And as I said at the beginning, I don't have an eyebrow pencil in Charlotte Tilbury. At the moment, I'm using the Huda Beauty Bomb Brows pencil, and I've got a couple of different eyebrow gels, but normally I use the Benefit. It's the 24-hour brow setter. So I'll do that off camera and then I'll be back. So now that my eyebrows are done, normally this is when I would go in with a powder, and I do have a Charlotte Tilbury powder. But I also quite a while ago bought her contour, and this is the Hollywood Contour Wand, and this is in the shade Fair Medium. I don't use contour a lot at all. I think it can go horribly wrong, so I hope it won't today. I'll go fairly easy with it. I think it looks fabulous on people that know how to do it really well. I'm not one of those people, but we'll give it a go. So it has a little sponge applicator at the end, and I'll just press out some. Oh, you twist up the top first, that's right. It's been a while since I used it. And I'll just press out some product, and I'll put some along my forehead. Forgotten this was in the shade Fair Medium, and it's still some down here, not too far down. Forehead. And I'll put some under my jawline as well and buff that in. And I hardly ever put contour down my nose, because to me it always looks really strange, and I don't think I'll do that today either. It's likely not to turn out too well. So we've just got to remember to close that back down again so it doesn't dry out. And to blend the contour in, I'm going to use the BK Beauty 106 brush. It's quite a small brush, and it's dense but not too dense. It's still quite soft, and it is really good for buffing out creams. I do like the formula of this contour though. The only other contour I have is in a powder form, and I'd have to say I do prefer it in a liquid. So that's the contour finished. It doesn't look too crazy. It's just because it blends out so well too. So you can apply more to give more of defined edges around your face, or like I have, you can buff it out so it's just a little bit more softer. So now I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder, and this is in 2 medium. I'm not going to open it. I've nearly finished it, and I've ordered another one that it actually has broken on me, and as I've opened it, powder's just fallen out. I don't know if I'll be able to show you without too much falling out, but there it is, and yeah, it's all in just pieces, but it's still fine. It's just that it gets a bit messy using it. So first I'm going to powder under my eyes, and I'm going to use the BK Beauty 108 brush to do that. I find this brush really good for pressing powder under the eyes to set them. So I just roll my brush. I've got to be very gentle with this one since it's broken. I just roll the brush in the powder, and I make sure all the excess is tapped off. So I'm just going to close that back down again so it doesn't get messy. And I'm just going to tap off the excess and then just press it under each eye. And then what I often do is take the BK Beauty 102 brush. This is a super fluffy, soft brush, and just gently sweep under each eye just to make sure any excess powder is gone, because again, my under eyes will get quite crepey throughout the day if I've put too much powder on. Then I'm going to take the Sonia G Face 1 brush to powder the rest of my face. Again, just dip it into my broken bits here. I'll be glad when my new powder arrives, and I just buff that into my face. And I'm really gentle buffing in. I'm not holding my brush very tightly at all, and it's just a very light buffing sort of motion just to get the powder in. So now I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer, and this is in number 310, and I'm going to use my Rapha number 22 brush. I find this a great brush for putting bronzer on. These are huge pans. I'm sure many of you have seen the bronzer, but I'll just hold it up. They're just huge. This is going to last me nearly forever, this bronzer. I'm going to go fairly easy with it because I've got the contour on as well. And I really like this bronzer. I think it gives a really warm, soft look to my skin, and it also always just blends out really, really beautifully. So next I'm going to do eyeshadow, and I have 4 Charlotte Tilbury quads and another bigger palette. But my most recent quad that I got is this one, and this is the Queen of Glow. I thought this was just a really pretty palette. So that's what I'm going to wear today. These colours just look absolutely gorgeous, and I have been dying to try it out. So taking my Rapha number 15 brush, I'm going to go into this shade here and start with that goldy shade. It's quite warm, but it looks absolutely beautiful. So next I'm going to take my Sonia G Builder 3 brush, and I'm going to go into this shade down here and put that all over my lid. So now I want to add some definition to my eye. So I'm going to take my other Rapha number 15 brush. I have 2 of these because I use these brushes so much. And I'm going to go into this deepest colour here for that. I'm really loving these colours so far. I think they look really, really beautiful. That warm brown and the bronze and gold colours are just really, really gorgeous. So I just want to lighten a bit up here in my eye. So I'm taking the Sonia G, and this is the Builder Pro brush. And I'm going to go into this lightest colour here and layer a bit over in the inner corner. So I'm going to take the Rapha number 3 brush and go back into this darker colour here and line under my eyes. So now I'm going to line my eyes, and I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury, the classic, and this is in classic brown. I bought this eye pencil about a month ago, and I've used it quite a few times. I really like the formula in this pencil. It doesn't tug at your eyes, and it also lasts really, really well. And I also find, because I have quite sensitive eyes, that with some of the pencils, especially when I tight line, it can react with my eyes a bit, and this doesn't do that. I really love this pencil. So I'm going to use my magnified mirror to do this, and I'll just do part of it, and off camera I'll do the rest because it takes me quite a while to line my eyes. So eyeliner is done, and next I'm going to put on mascara, and first I'm just going to curl my lashes. And for my mascara, I'm going to use the Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes. I absolutely love this mascara. This would be one of my top 3 that I have. So what I do is I use the flat side first to sort of push them up, and then I go in with a second layer with the smaller bristles on the side. So that is my mascara on, and I also, for the very first time in a long time, put on false eyelashes as well, because I bought the Charlotte Tilbury, it's called the Charlotte Secret Lash Tricks, and this is Charlotte's Hollywood Red Carpet Lash, and I've put them on, and they just feel so strange. It feels like I've got brooms on my eyes, but I do like the look of false eyelashes. I think they give the eyes a really beautiful, dramatic look. So now I'm going to go on to blush, and I recently bought 2 Charlotte Tilbury blushes, and today I'm going to use the Pillow Talk Cheek to Chic, and this is in the colour Intense, and this is the colour. So again, I'm just going to use a BK Beauty brush. This is the BK Beauty Brush 104, and I'm just going to swirl both colours together. And one of my favourite makeup products is blush, and I'd have to say that this blush just blends out really, really beautifully. It has a slight sheen to it that's from the centre part in there, but this darker colour is absolutely gorgeous. Really, really love these blushes. And next I'm going to put on highlighter, and I normally don't use a lot of highlighter. I tend to steer away from a bit. It's not something I wear every single day. I do like the look of it if the formula suits my skin and doesn't add or emphasize any texture to my skin. So I recently bought the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Beauty Light Wand, and we'll see how this goes on my cheekbones up here. Again, it's like the contour one. I haven't even used this yet, so I don't even know what it's going to be like. And twist the top, and I'll just squeeze out some product, and I'm just going to apply it with my finger. That gives a really beautiful glow. And the only other highlighters I've ever really used has been a powder, but this one, since it's a cream, actually just gives a beautiful glow and definitely doesn't emphasize any texture. It is really, really pretty. So now I'm going to put on lip liner and lipstick, and I recently got the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner. This is the Pillow Talk one in Lip Cheat, and I have used it, and it does feel really nice. It doesn't tug when putting it on. And I have about 4 Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks, and I really like the formula. So today I'm going to use this one. This is in the colour Coral Kiss. And finally, I'm going to take my Sonia G Face 1 brush and again go in with this Charlotte Tilbury powder and just do one final dust of powder over my face. So this is the finished look and I think it looks really, really pretty. The false eyelashes still feel really strange on my eyes, but they do give the eyes a beautiful finished look. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Will I keep wearing them? I'm not too sure. It takes me quite a bit of time to put them on. I suppose with a bit more practice I'll get a bit faster, but we'll just have to wait and see. The Hollywood Flawless filter, I can feel under my skin that it just feels a bit too greasy, and it is a bit cooler today in New Zealand because it's now autumn and it still has that feeling and the look. Well, not quite at the moment because I've only just completed my makeup, but I know later on in the day I'm going to have to powder quite a lot to keep that oiliness down, and I think part of it is this filter. So I think maybe I'm going to have to give up on this and I'll just give it to someone else, either my niece or one of my friends. I'm sure they will appreciate it. Someone with skin that isn't quite as oily as mine. I love the Queen of Glow eyeshadow that I put on. I think they're really, really gorgeous colours. As with most of her quads, you can either make it a little bit more dramatic using the darker shadow like I have, or you can even just use one for a one and done look and it just look absolutely gorgeous. I was really surprised with the highlighter. I think it gives the cheekbones a really subtle glow. I actually think I prefer this more than a highlighter powder. So I'm going to keep using this over the next week or two and then I can sort of make up my mind about it. But at the moment I think it looks really, really pretty. And I love the new Charlotte Tilbury lip liner. It goes on really beautifully and as I said, it doesn't tug on your lips. And I have worn this before a couple of times and it seems to wear well around the mouth as well. And the foundation, the bronzer, the finishing powder and the mascara are absolutely gorgeous. I just love them and I will always repurchase these products. And just because my skin is, well, I can see it, it's starting to be a bit oilier than normal. That's definitely not the foundation. That is the Flawless filter underneath. But probably my most recent favourite purchase of Charlotte Tilbury is this under eye corrector. It is just so good. It doesn't completely hide darkness under my eyes. I have these quite big veins. One, it runs from there down to here and on that other eye as well, and they're never completely hidden, but this covers it just so well. And even though it's creamy, it doesn't settle or crease under the eyes. It's just such a gorgeous formula and really works well. And all the Charlotte Tilbury products that I use today I will list in the description box below. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye.